This is not a dress rehearsal. This is your life. William H. Murray. We began this series with a line from a poem that pulls back the curtain of life. A poem that helps me remember the fullness that lay awaiting in each of my days. Old Albert Camus got there first when he wrote, "I realized then that a man who had lived only one day could easily live for 100 years in prison. He would have enough memories to keep him from being bored. The life of a day is not news, but a reminder. It is a reminder of the mysticism of rhythm." Hey everyone, it's Paul, and this is Contemplify, where we seek to kindle the examined life for contemplatives in the world. If you're enjoying this series on the life of a day, please consider rating and reviewing it on Apple Podcasts, or sharing it with a kindred spirit. Also, as I typically mention at the end of each show, there's a monthly non-required contemplative reading list that I send out each month. If you're interested in receiving it, head over to contemplify.com. This final episode of the Life of a Day series, or series finale to give it a little panache, is all about you. It is about offering a reframing of your day with a new way of seeing, a new way of showing up. In the Life of a Day, I used the Liturgy of the Hours as an overlaying framework for naming and participating in contemplation that arises during the day. In the making of coffee, morning meditation, going for a walk, washing dishes, and raising a pint with friends. I heard from a number of you seeking to integrate such a contemplative rhythm into your life. So let's carry this forward. First with naming who this mysticism of rhythm is for, why one would participate in such a rhythm, and then a strategy for seeing opportunities to implement a contemplative rhythm that honors where you see contemplation peeking its head in your daily life. To be clear, this series has all along been all about and for us contemplatives in the world. This was not created for those who have a tidy, procedural spirituality, ding-free or without bruises from the fists of reality. The series is also not for those who mark mindless busyness as a banner of achievement. No, there is plenty out there for them already. This series is for you. You who are pursuing contemplation while getting dressed and making oatmeal for your kids. For you who opens your doors of hospitality to the refugees who need a safe place to go. For you who tirelessly works to draft local policies to serve your neighborhood community. For you who refuses to accept the dominant white supremacist culture as the norm, while joining in the work of building new roads of equity. For you who seek the God of wonder embedded in the world. This is the contemplative church to which I belong, whose members I will likely never meet at a Sunday morning service, and we will never gather under the same banner or feel the need to worry about if it has a name. But we do seem to recognize our kind when we bump into each other. It is the folks that don't advertise or need the blessing from the pulpit who have been my North Stars in participating in the life of a day. A number have been claimed saints or sages by various religions, but a far greater number were never known beyond their county lines. Contemplatives are rarely afforded a reprieve from the world as it spins. The great mystery is always in movement, always asking us to show up, to taste and see, to risk. This is what the life of a day is all about. This is the why of a contemplative rhythm. Seeing and being in a fierce, loving relationship with reality, from the tip of your hat to the tip of your toes, to risk being a mystic of rhythm. If you take the examples from my life in the previous episodes, you'll notice that I chose some of the most basic aspects of my contemplative embodiment. Drinking, prayer, movement, cleaning, and being in community. Each was an ordinary lived experience that we can all share and take with a contemplative posture. Hat tip to Jesus for opening that gate for me into this field of contemplative wonder. This is a strategy for beginning to move in a contemplative rhythm. Write down all the things you do on the regular. Cook breakfast, refill a water bottle, do laundry, make love, send emails, change diapers, commute to work, argue, the morning constitutional, laugh, and so forth. You get it. Reflect on which of the activities you listed gives you pause. It could be interiorly or exteriorly, but it's a pause in the bustle of your day, even if it's just for a full, deep breath. The practice of seeing the contemplative keyholes is not an attempt to see all the ways contemplation can be integrated into your life, but beginning to see the contemplative doors you unknowingly walk through in the course of your day. A few questions that have helped me think through these doorways. How are these elemental aspects of my day latent with contemplation? How does my body respond when I imagine these activities as invitations to contemplative practice? What sensations are present? What would happen if certain daily activities became ritualized cues to practice being a contemplative in the world? That's it. You can build in these moments of recollection around your particular life. Here's another one of mine. At the end of the workday, I close my window shade, take a deep breath, and say to myself, the shade is closed, the workday is done. See, I can get very attached to work and the outcomes because I care so damn much. This caring can tip over until my sense of being is tied up with my work and my supposed work successes and failures. One might call this over-identification with my work. Quick side note. For some really helpful teaching on this, check out Cynthia Bourgeau's writing on non-identification. Okay, this little mantra, the shade is closed, the workday is done, and the physical practice of closing the shades is my internal and external cue that I have done what I could do today. I let go of all that I have completed and all that I have left undone, and return home to my family. This act of releasing the work of my hands, heart, and mind keeps me free to dance with mystery under the glow of the moon. Most days this is easy. Other days, not so much. But this ritual has bent my experience towards non-identification with work, and it does help to share this journey. I recently started sharing a work studio space with my friend and colleague Cliff. There was a day where I was leaving the studio without closing a shade, and Cliff Riley said, "Aren't you forgetting something?" What do you think might happen if you have a handful of cues for intentions, body awareness, deep listening, prayers of all varieties percolating throughout your day? On the outside, it will look like your day is humming along per usual, but in reality, you will consistently be reopening yourself to participate in mystery as a contemplative in the world. You'll be showing up to minor tasks with more juice, more presence. Do you have any idea how that might throttle the life of your day? One might even wake up to their own life more often. And that, friends, is my hope for you with this series. That you see the opportunity for a contemplative rhythm in your life and join its song. That you wake up to your life more often. And that's why I do it. To be more fully alive each and every day. So I hope you keep reading all the contemplative books, listening to all the contemplative podcasts, doing your meditation sits and embodiment practices, standing up for injustice, being in solidarity with the marginalized, and soak in those rich conversations of depth that fill you with joy. But even more so, I hope you show up fully in your flesh and marrow to take stock of the contemplative moments arising when you are feverishly plunging away at a clogged toilet, singing in a choir, protesting mountaintop removal, shoveling a driveway, grieving the loss of a beloved, or wiping tables at the end of your shift. This is your life. Be awake for it. Mark it every day with rituals that remind you that you are alive. O great mystery, the mysticism of rhythm awaits. We'll end where we began, with the first lines from Tom Hennon's poem, The Life of a Day. Like people or dogs, each day is unique and has its own personality quirks, which can easily be seen if you look closely. Thanks everyone for joining in this series on the life of a day. It's been a treat for me to put together, and I hope you've enjoyed it. You can head over to contemplify.com to sign up for the monthly non-required reading list, or check out any past interviews we've done here on Contemplify. God willing and the creek don't rise, I look forward to bringing you more conversations with contemplatives in the world in the near future.